Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Monday, so I begin with poetry. Poets say it good. This is Jalaluddin Rumi. It's called The Far Mosque. That place that Solomon made to worship in, called the Far Mosque, is not built of earth and water and stone, but of intention and wisdom and mystical conversation and compassionate action. Every part of it is intelligent and responsive to every other. The carpet bows to the broom, the door knocker and the door swing together like musicians. This heart sanctuary does exist, but it cannot be described. Solomon goes there every morning and gives guidance with words, with musical harmonies, and in actions, which are the deepest teaching. A prince is just a conceit until he does something with his generosity. So, my friends, be as generous as you can to as many as you can for as long as you can. All right. We're heading down towards the end of the disappointing affirmations. By the end of this month, I'll be back to my toxic positivity. So for my friends out there who just want to hear the opposite of the positive affirmation, don't be afraid to settle. I mean, have you met you? I want you to make you understand. All right, for my journaling friends, the heart, I always say there's only one practice, opening the heart. So this is the four-chambered heart. Is it a full heart or a half heart? Is it an open heart or closed heart? Is it a strong heart or a weak heart? Is it a clear heart or a doubting heart? So let me know. You full-hearted or half-hearted? Open-hearted or closed-hearted? Strong heart or weak heart? Clear heart or doubting heart? Let me know where you think you stand. I'll be glad to share where I think I am. All right. Now, my teacher says yoga's hunt is for rejuvenation. Yes, to kind of recalibrate, reconnect. Yes, you can have these metaphysical extensions of what you think your stretching and your breathing and your relaxation is all about, which is to connect the Jivatman with the Paramatman, the individual soul with the universal soul. To go beyond your own sense of ego and separateness into merging into a greater vision of the part of you that's not apart from everything, but is a part of everything. Now, I've really been on this rant since I'm about to turn 77, or I should say finish 77 years, much like the software that you insert into the memory of a computer. The program that you run dictates whether or not you have an attractive or unattractive way of looking at your own aging process. Will it be creative and fulfilling, or fearful, not so fulfilling? Even if my physical and mental powers and social uselessness seem to be waning, but if I press that button and hit enter on my own computer, life becomes the printout of my experience. So I do want the unvarnished truth, whatever it may be. It takes courage to face that. But it's important not to over-idealize and just show the aging of people out there like smiling, playing tennis, doing whatever they want, no problems whatsoever. But neither do I want to go in the other direction and just see it as like a doddering old fool who needs help. What are you taking up space for? That kind of stuff. So I tend to lean towards a more reflective optimism, a happy bias that colors the book of my past with a hue of satisfaction. I hope that you can look at what's happened in your life up to now and draw those smiles from what you know you've done and what you know you've seen and who you know you've been with. And let it change. We all have a shapeshifter. We all have a trickster energy in us. I always ask that question, where are you still a rebel? And the tricksters in the Native American tradition are often found in the creature teachers, how the animals, in terms of their lifestyle, reflect back to us positive and negative qualities that eventually will teach you morality, self-responsibility, order, transformation. And you only have transformation by challenging the status quo. And you can always find flaws in the cultural values, and that's what the trickster does. Pulls the rug out from under the feet and forces you to see something, even though there may be chaos, in order to create something after that. So the great work of creation is always unfolding for each of us, whether it's through the via positiva and the via negativa, all the things you do to stay jazzed in the wonder, utter wonder of all of it, and also the awful aspect. It's not just awesome, it's awful in what life does. So whether it's the beauty or the terror, we all have to face it. Some loss. Who doesn't get cynical? Who doesn't get depressed? Who doesn't sometimes have sarcasm, nihilism, makes you want to give up? Well, we need new forms of wonder and new forms of praise, new forms of making us feel connected to each other instead of separated from each other. So I hope you believe, as I do, that karma adjusts everything, even when it seems like justice has not taken place. And sometimes when you read the words of these people who not pretend to be, but claim to be people who've had a vision of unity. Yeah, it's hard to speak articulately when you've been whacked out of your noodle with a high state of consciousness. You're not exactly the perfect rhetorician. But you're not supposed to speak and give testimony unless you're actually not just trying to do persuasiveness with your words, but just your very being has to be the embodiment of wisdom, which is the demonstration of spirit. So back to affirm for yourself. Remember, affirmation simply means saying something is so. You can make the negative affirmation if you want to, but the idea is make a positive affirmation, release those ideas into the world for the purpose of blessing and serving everybody. And remember, when you turn your request over to your subconscious mind, it's going to respond according to the nature of your request. So release it, say it to yourself with absolute faith and confidence, trusting implicitly in that law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. So put out the good vibe, put out the positive vibe, and the infinite intelligence of your own subconscious mind, your own DNA. It's wise, all wise, and will reveal to you in the appropriate time everything you need to meet the requirements of your request. So please, always choose what you give your attention to, because that's what you're putting on your plate. Change your internal vantage point, not the external conditions. And then you will no longer be just a mere reactor, not just responding to conditions, but a deliberate creator of conditions. And what a force for good you could be. So take that into the world. Have a great day.